around. We took a little bit longer.
Down the hall.
Walking down the hall, wandering, loitering.
Hooked you in.
I didn't even get a chance to offer you hot chocolate.
It's all right. I brought my own coffee.
I see that. We're doing a
we're all
plug
good.
for
For
people.
Starbucks.
without, no, it's okay. No, I mean, we'll say to them, hey, Starbucks, you should sponsor.
Yeah, they
right?
should.
They should.
They should step in.
Should they?
Yeah.
I mean, come on, let's be real.
I think they should.
For those of you who don't know Matt, I don't know where you've been. I don't know what rock you've been hiding under, but Matt is
rock.
He is a rock. You are a rock.
Well, we're talking about rock too later. So
yes, we are talking about rock, and you're an amazing person in your own right. I'm going to start with that because I think I launch into all the other things that you are, but you're also an autism brother, an autism dad, an autism stepdad.
That's true.
And a pretty incredible individual. You are, what is your title with Autism Society of
Vice
America?
President of Development for Autism Society.
That's a pretty hefty title. And you've been tearing it up this last year for them, doing many important things. And so we're thrilled. And in a little while, we're going to talk with you about, we could just do that now and do news later. I don't know why I get so rigid sometimes. I'm like, Matt, we have to do the news
and I can
first.
hang for the news.
That's fine, but let's you're here.
Yeah.
You're here. Let's talk with you now. So you've been doing amazing things with Autism Society of America. I mean, I loved the Autfest, the film festival.
Yeah, and we'll have an announcement about Autfest 2018 very soon.
Okay, good.
I can tell you it's probably going to be in the latter part of April.
Okay.
So you're going to be doing another one. The first one was a big success.
Yes. And,
it was.
We're kind of planning the programming now, so it looks really interesting.
Okay, good.
And fun.
But that's only one of the many things that you have done this year. You've done some really important events and some really fun events that shed a whole lot of light on the subject of autism for all individuals. And that's really at the heart of the mission for Autism Society of America, that it's all individuals, that we're not just talking about the very youngest kids, but we're talking about the adults too. And everybody having a healthy, meaningful life, and when we say meaningful to them.
Exactly. Whatever that means.
Whatever that means. And that's not going to look the same thing for any two people. And I think that that's a really important message. You had a wonderful conference that I did not get to. I cried many tears over that.
We missed you.
And I
Both of you.
hope that I can come, because your new one for next year you're doing in DC, right?
Correct. Yeah.
So that's already on my schedule, that I want to come to that one next summer.
That'll be a good one.
Yes.
A lot about advocacy on that one.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. And we had covered it very extensively here, the poker tournament with your dad.
Yeah, you had a lot of great celebrities.
It was fun.
It was good fun. No, Matt, it was wild.
It was wild.
It was wild.
It was wild.
Anywhere your dad is gets wild.
There were a few other people there who were wild too, so you never know what's going to happen at those things.
Oh my gosh. I mean, there were things we can't even talk about on camera that it got a little wild and woolly there.
Well, you showed it though. A lot of it.
Some of it we showed. Yeah. Some of it we showed. Some of it we couldn't show. Right. I mean, it definitely got a little
that
woolly.
Wild?
It got a little woolly.
Okay.
It got a little woolly.
It did.
In amongst all that, there was a lot of really good fun.
Oh yeah.
And a lot of money got raised for autism,
we were
Society of America.
really excited about it, and I think next year is going to be bigger and better.
Yeah.
Probably do it. It'll be in September next year.
Okay.
We'll announce that
Wonderful.
very soon too.
Okay, so you have this new thing that's happening, and I noticed you got a T-shirt on. So tell us what the new thing is.
There it is.
What
Rock
does it
your
say?
speech.
Rock your speech.
Your
Wait, hold on.
Starbucks
There we
cup
go.
is. Darn that
speech,
Starbucks.
find
On
your
your
voice.
Yes.
So we have teamed with Rock Your Speech, which is Tom and Allison Peterson's organization.
Okay.
And we are going to be doing the first Rock Your Speech concert on December 2nd at the Orpheum Theater in Los Angeles, California. And it's going to feature incredible artists. Cheap Trick is going to be performing a full set.
Yeah.
And we have Red Cross, which is an amazing LA band. We have The Empty Hearts, was a pop supergroup with members of Blondie and the Romantics and the Cars. We have Terry Nunn from Berlin. We have Jeanette Napolitano from Concrete Blonde. We have the Dandy Warhols. I mean, it's going to be a fiesta of music.
Great lineup. Now, refresh some of us on Cheap Trick, some of their hits.
Cheap Trick, I Want You to Want Me.
We were singing
I was
that this
singing that
morning. You
earlier.
were.
Surrender.
Yes.
Dream Police.
Okay.
I mean, the Voices. I mean, Cheap Trick is probably one of the greatest bands out of the 70s and early
Right.
80s. And you know, what's great is, you know, this partnership. I got to Autism Society and knew that I wanted to do a concert with Autism Society. I'd done them before, and I wanted to do another one with Autism Society. And I knew that I needed the right people to be around me. And Tom Peterson and Allison Peterson, I can't tell you how wonderful they are.
Tell us about their organization.
Well, I mean, they're doing speech therapy. They're creating recordings and videos that can help and aid in speech therapy, music therapy. I'm sorry, music therapy. And they, you know, their main thrust was working with their own son, Liam. And Liam went from being, you know, nonverbal to speaking. You know, believe me, I can tell you, he speaks. I mean, he is a great kid and amazing. And so I knew that I really wanted to partner with someone like Tom and Allison. And we started talking, and it was just one thing led after the other. Their good friend Stacia Pratt is involved as well. And I couldn't ask for better partners in this incredible concert. So
It's a wonderful thing. I think a lot of people don't know that you have a music background.
Yeah, I do.
And that in lots of varied and different ways. But
You
that
actually were a performer.
he is.
I
Not was,
I
is.
still do it every now and then.
Do you?
Yeah.
I have his CD.
I won't be doing it
and-
at Rock Your Speech, but I you know, I've been known to you know, sing here and there. I think you might have come.
No, I
No,
didn't.
I sent you
like
something.
the 2 times. No, I have your CD.
That's right.
And it's fantastic.
You have a CD?
I do, yeah. It's
I didn't
It's
available on iTunes.
fantastic,
Really?
and you have to listen to it. I was
The band's
amazed.
Grand Manor, if anyone out there wants
What's
to
the
check
name
it
of the
out.
band?
Grand Manor.
I was
Grand Manor.
amazed, and I was like, and you hear this singer with this very soulful voice, and
Yeah.
I was like, what? That's Matt? I was like, what? You know, he's been hiding under a bushel. Yes, so really great CD. I'm putting in a plug for Grand Manor, and I have
you.
not gotten to see you guys play live. You've done it twice in the
Yeah.
last couple of years, and both times one time I was out of town, and one time I had family in town. So it
Now,
didn't
this is a
Hopefully-
band you were in years ago,
Yeah,
and
it's-
that you
it's fu-
kept going.
It's funny. We were together in the 80s, and you know, Facebook's an amazing thing, isn't it? And we
Yes.
just started connecting through Facebook again, and we kind of ended for the wrong reasons in the 80s, and we just decided to get back together and kind of see, you know, it felt good, so we decided to play a few times. Then we hooked up with Bob DeMarco, and
Right.
who you know,
We
and
love
Bob produced this EP that we released on iTunes.
It's hot. I just got to say, it's hot. And there is an 80s feel to it.
Yeah, definitely reminiscent
so
of the 80s.
if you like 80s music, which I'm an 80s music
Right, me
baby,
too.
you will absolutely love it. But it also has an edge to it that it's like a fusion of 80s and I mean, I'm not good with musical terms, but you've got like this 80s feel, but there's also this sort of, my husband loves Tom Waits, and
Yeah.
you've got sort of a Tom Waits
I've
feel
never
to
heard
you.
that before, but I'll take it. I like Tom Waits.
It's very, it's got that kind of, it's got an edge to it.
Yeah.
It's hot. It's really good. In any case, so we digress from that, but that's Grand Manor. That's the secret
Right.
you didn't know about Matt.
Yeah.
But this fabulous event that's coming up, and you got a lot of surprises. I don't know what you're allowed to say.
I'm really not allowed to say that much. I mean, I told you the lineup, and for those out there that want to go check this out, you can go to rockyourspeechconcert.org and check it out there. You can buy tickets on Ticketmaster. There are VIP packages available. You can go to the website for that. And you know, it's really going to be an amazing night where there's a pre-show reception, post-show reception. And it's going to be great.
And what's the date again and the location one more
second.
time?
December 2nd at the Orpheum Theater in Los Angeles. The show starts at 7. Pre-show starts at 5.
Okay.
Doors open at 6. And there's going to be some amazing merchandise. We're going to be announcing something in a couple of weeks that will allow people to take part in the concert in some way that aren't living in the city. So I'm not going to say much more about that, but maybe
Well, that was cryptic,
Maybe I'll come
Matt.
back on when that's announced, and
Well,
we can talk about it again.
You're always welcome to come on whenever to tell us your secrets. Did you get a chance to watch last week? Because Matt was scheduled to be on last week, but you were under the weather. Did you get on? Did you see when we were Sharon Adele, and what we said was that you were supposed to come, but I
didn't see that part.
As Adele, I said, but he's got the pukes. And I have no idea whether that was what was going on, but you were under the weather.
But it's okay. I'll take the pukes.
You
Right.
saw our costumes last week.
I did. They were
Yes,
awesome.
you saw the
Yeah,
pictures.
every year this is a tradition now for us, as you know.
It would have cured me of what ailed me. So, I mean, if I had been here
In any case.
and taken part in that, I think I would have dressed up maybe.
Well, it
we've
would've
had
been
fun with our annual
You
costumes.
could have come in, get yourself a pair of sunglasses. You could have come in and been Bono.
Yeah.
I mean,
That's
because
true.
we were being like super divas. You could have come in and been Bono.
Every year we've been some sort of super diva since dating back 5 years now. We
Really?
started with Lucy and Ethel.
I remember that
Yes.
Then we were the Queens,
Queen
Queen Elizabeth.
That was the original Queen
one.
Elizabeth first.
Both of you were Queen Elizabeth?
I was
No.
Queen Elizabeth the first. She was the current queen.
Oh.
Right. And
Corgi
it's good to
and
be the
all.
Queen.
So you had the red wig?
I had,
Oh, she did
I had
period.
I
We'll
did
get you a
period.
picture. You'll see.
I want to
it.
see that.
Then she was Martha Stewart, and I was Julia
Childs.
Childs.
Yeah.
And then last year she
We
was
were-
Ellen, and I was Rosie
Ellen and-
O'Donnell.
Oh, there we go.
And then I got to
Rosie.
meet Rosie on
and
your
she might
red
have watched
carpet,
you because I know she watches you.
which
Yeah.
was a thrill for me to hear, and it was so exciting that Samantha passed out on the red carpet.
That's another thing that happened at the poker tournament.
Yes. There was that level of excitement. There were
Right.
things, but and that was thrilling. I think that was probably the highlight of my year. And I got to go to NASA with Temple Grandin this year, but the highlight of my year was Rosie O'Donnell running towards me saying, "You're Autism Live. I watch you." I was like, "All right,
great.
kill me now. I'm happy I can die." But Randy Rainbow, I think, was like at that event was. And I ended up standing with him through a lot of it because all kinds of mayhem was happening around Randy Rainbow. It was really amazing, you guys.
Well, what's great about Randy Rainbow is he's not like a household name.
Yeah, there were people who didn't know who he
Explain
was.
to everybody who Randy Rainbow is.
Randy Rainbow is a guy that's doing a lot of parody videos on YouTube. He's big on YouTube.
Yes.
And he's doing.
He's a musical theater person.
He's doing like
Great
Trump
voice.
parodies, like I
Yes.
would say
Yeah.
Trump parodies.
Political.
So they're
in
like,
nature.
I guess what you would say left-leaning
Yes.
parodies. But he's hilariously funny.
Oh,
and very
gosh.
talented, and just great. And so no one, I don't think a lot of people know. His name, but they see him and they go, "Oh my God, I know exactly who that is."
Right,
and,
right.
And it's so it's a lot of fun, and a lot of people really. I mean, he's really that good.
The people, he's so good. The people who knew who he was were freaking out.
Yeah, Lou Diamond Phillips had an amazing reaction to him.
Well, he got down on
Shined his shoes, I think.
while we had cameras running. He shined his shoes and said, "I just want."
Yeah.
And he said to me, I didn't have the camera on, and he said, "This is what we're going to do." And he said, "I'm going to get down and shine his shoes, and you get it on camera."
Lou
There
Diamond
we go.
Phillips shoes.
Lou Diamond
No,
Phillips
Randy
shined Randy
Rainbow
Rainbow's
shoes.
shoes.
Okay.
And he was saying to me, and then you pan up. I mean, I'm taking directions from Lou Diamond Phillips and happy to do so, right? But yes, that's because people who love Randy, that's how they feel about him. It's everybody was like, woo.
super
And then there
fans.
were people who didn't know who he was, and obviously there were people who were like, I don't find it funny, right? Because there are people who don't have a sense of humor about some
Right.
things, and other people who do, and and that's fine. Everybody's entitled to whatever. But yes, to see, because we actually covered it live the moment in which we were talking to Rosie and Randy Rainbow came on the red carpet, and you could hear like everything just sort of pitched up.
Yeah.
Like when you're at a
It's very
horse
true.
race
Yes.
and when they're coming around the line and everything goes "Roop," and she said, "What's going on?" And I said, "Randy Rainbow," and she didn't hear me say that. But then a little bit later on, we saw her. She said to somebody, and the person that was with her said, "Randy Rainbow is here," and she turned around and ran to him and says, "Whatever you need, I will do anything for you." It's that he evokes that kind of devotion in the people who love
And he
him.
was great. He was great to work with. He was terrific.
He was a sweetheart.
He was great.
He was a real sweetheart. I have to say, the one and only picture of him with your dad, That was my picture.
Really?
That is my picture.
All right.
Anyway, and I was thrilled, and it was a moment when nobody else was paying attention, and he went over to meet your dad for the first time, and all the photographers were someplace else, and they started, and I was like, no, if no one else is going to take a picture, I'm going to take a picture. That's my picture.
There we go. Okay.
So there you go. It was a thrilling moment to watch them meet. Anyway, let's take a break, and then are you going to stay with us? You've got more to
let
say.
me wrap
don't
up with talking a little bit more about
sorry.
your-
About the
your
event.
Rock Your
So off.
Speech.
Yeah, go
So
ahead.
it's the Rock Your Speech concert, and it's December 2nd at the Orpheum Theater. Like I said, you can get your tickets at Ticketmaster. Just look up Rock Your Speech. It'll be there, or Cheap Trick, or one of the bands. It'll be there. And order your tickets. Order them now, and take part in this incredible event. It's going to be an amazing event. It'll be really talked about the next day.
Oh, yeah.
Because there's going to be a lot of big surprises there.
And it's raising
A lot of
funds
big-
for.
It's raising funds for Autism Society of America, and we're really excited and think it's going to be an amazing event. So
Okay.
Absolutely.
come on out.
All right, you've heard it here, and you'll probably hear more about it. So stick with us.
This is Logan Shepherd. At first glance, he looks like a typical American teenager. He plays in a band, loves hanging out with his friends, he doesn't like doing homework, and he's not really fond of broccoli. But Logan Shepherd is not your typical 14-year-old. Logan was diagnosed with autism at the age of 2. He was nonverbal, made no eye contact, and his parents were told to abandon all hope. Instead, his parents began an intensive intervention treatment. At its center was a quality ABA program known as the CARD method. This is Logan Shepherd now.
All I really want to say is, I'm kind of copying Martin Luther King. I kind of have a dream, that one day, I can just, inspire people to never give up. Because, that's what I want to do in life. Because if I can succeed, they can succeed. And I will succeed.
To follow Logan's musical journey, visit www.facebook.com/officialdrummerrock or @drummerrock on Instagram. For more information on the CARD method, visit www.centerforautism.com or call 800-345-CARD. Rock on, Logan.
A lot of adults don't really believe kids. They'll think, kids are kids, what are they talking about? But when a child stands up for what they believe in, it's so strong and powerful. I first got involved with autism advocacy 4 years ago when my friend was diagnosed. When I found out about my friend's diagnosis, I didn't really understand what it meant. But it didn't matter to me or change our friendship. I didn't look at her any differently. We still had so much fun together. Now I know that she experiences life a little differently than me, and that's okay. Knowing what she goes through has helped me to understand and be more caring towards other people in similar situations. I got involved with ACT Today because I wanted to do whatever I could to help. They provide options like behavioral therapy, medical care, social skills programs, assistance to military families, and much more. Being there for my friend was my #1 priority. I've been volunteering and spreading the word about the cause via my social media platform because raising awareness is a crucial first step. There needs to be more kids and teens involved to make sure that our voices are heard just as loudly as the adults. You may be small like me, but your acts of kindness are not.
Welcome back.
Here we are.
We've had just
With Matt
intense
Asner,
back
we're
and
talking
forth
about
while we were gone.
one of our favorite subjects, music.
Yes.
Yes.
So
Yes.
we can continue
Yes,
talking
let's
about music.
continue talking
In your
about
event.
because you have some very special guests that you can talk a little bit about at the
Yes, and forgive me for not talking about them because
Well.
they're a big reason why we're there.
Well, and we
So-
just showed a clip because I
And
think
it
Samantha
jarred my
thought
memory.
you were going to
Logan
talk about,
Shepherd.
but yes, Logan Shepherd.
It jarred my memory.
And Logan Shepherd looms large in my story because you guys have heard me talk before about through some very miraculous circumstances, I got sent to a home on my darkest day. When I did not know what to do, and I was sent to this home to design a closet for the home, because that's what I was doing. I was working for a closet company. I have a master's degree in theater, but I couldn't teach college because my kid had autism.
Wow.
And so I was working for a closet company, and had literally been on my floor praying the night before, saying, I don't know what to do, and please help me to help my child. And I said, and if you show me what to do, I will do it, and I will help whoever I can once you help my child, right? That was, you talk about the kitchen floor club all the time. And that afternoon, I got sent to the Shepherd home to design a closet for their son's playroom. And I was angry, because I was like, this kid has a playroom, and I'll bet he talks, and, and I was furious. And the dad, just kept talking to me while I was measuring the closet. And finally I erupted on him and said, stop. Because he was like, do you have kids? And on your darkest day, you're like, oh, you have no idea, right?
Yeah, I have kids.
And I was looking at him going, here's this guy who has it all.
Right.
He's got this beautiful home, fenced backyard. He's got a little boy with a playroom.
Right.
Warming up my middle fingers for this guy. And he's asking me, do I have kids? Yes, I have a 2.5-year-old. Where's my son going to go to daycare? Where's he going to go to, nursery school? Ugh. And finally I blew up on him, and I was like, stop. You don't understand my life. My son has autism. My life isn't like yours. My life is never going to be like yours. Back off. And he said to me, he said, wow, welcome to the club that you never wanted to belong to, but once you get here, you're going to see it's filled with amazing people. And I said, what are you talking about? He said, my son has autism. And he said, you're probably the luckiest person in the world, because somehow the universe sent you to my house today.
Wow.
And he said, and I'm going to tell you about a place that's just 30 miles down the road from here. It's a place called Card, and
You're kidding.
And miracles happen there.
Wow.
And that is why I'm here today. I mean, I have goosebumps.
Because of Peter Shepherd.
And, well, no, because, as an autism parent, I was like, yeah, whatever. And he started asking me all these questions, and he looked at me finally, and he said, you know what? This is ridiculous. Forget the closet. I'm going to call my wife, tell her to bring my kid home. You need to meet my kid, because you're not going to take it from me. You need to meet my kid.
And how old was Logan at the time?
He was 5.
Wow.
And
wow.
I remember Logan coming into the room and running up to his dad, and he threw his arms around his dad, and he hugged his dad, and my kid wasn't hugging us at this point, right? He pulled back, made beautiful eye contact with his dad, and he looked at him and said, hey, Dad, later on, do you want to play video games? And that was it for me.
Right, because
like,
that's what
he had
envisioned,
white blonde hair,
kind of moment.
And I was like, if there's a possibility that my son's going to look at my husband that way, sign me up. Whatever.
Yeah.
These poor people. I stayed at their house for like that night. I think they thought they were going to have to adopt me because I was going to move in, and I still have the notes that I took at that meeting about Card and how to be a good Card parent and how to get the most out of my ABA.
Wow.
And years later, I said to Crystal Shepherd, how can I ever repay you? What am I going to be able to do? And she said, oh, no, pay that forward. Well, that's why I had a radio show, which became this. I mean, that's all because of Logan.
Because of that chain of events.
Because of Logan. So Logan himself looms large in my story, right? And I didn't... And Mom's watching right now.
Oh, okay.
And but then Logan.
Hello,
Crystal. I know how much I love you. And but so then I find out that Logan happens to play the drums. I don't know this, right?
And you showed me videos of Logan a couple of years ago, I think.
Because I've been saying to you for a while, this young man has talent that is. And beyond. Like, we talk about kids that have talent that are on the spectrum, but this isn't even that.
Right.
Logan is talented beyond in his own right. He's 16 years old, and his face is on the side of New York City buses promoting concerts. He's amazing. Yeah.
And
he just keeps getting better.
And he is going to be at Rock Your Speech.
Which makes me so happy.
He's going to be at Rock Your Speech, and he's going to perform.
Yes.
And Crystal, we need to talk, so I'll be calling you, or Kaylee will be calling you, someone will be calling you, because we have to work out particulars. But he is going to be there.
Yes.
We're very excited to have him. He's going to perform A great performer named Cody Lee is going to perform. Do you know Cody?
I don't know Cody.
Cody is autistic and blind.
Wow.
So, and he's gonna do a song for us, and then a young man named Will O'Neill is also joining us.
Okay.
From Chicago.
Wonderful.
And they're all on the spectrum.
They're all in the spectrum, and they're all amazing performers, and we're gonna welcome them and give them a great forum.
Of course.
And a great band to work with. Like a really good band to work with.
Come on. So again, that's Rock Your Speech.
Yep.
And that's happening on December 2nd at the Orpheum Theater here in Los Angeles.
You can get your tickets on Ticketmaster, or you can
Ticketmaster.com, or you can go to the website.
rockyourspeechconcert.org.
Yeah.
Okay. And that's happening right now. There are tickets that are VIP experience where you can be at a place where you can be talking to people if that's something that you want to do.
Well, yeah, we Allison and Tom and I were talking about this, and we thought that we should kind of come up with a plan if people really want a kind of VIP experience.
Yeah.
To really kind of let them have a VIP experience. So we devised these levels.
Right.
They're all on the website. You can go to the sponsor page on the website. They're all on the sponsor page on the website, and it's a great way of donating to a cause, having a lot of fun doing it.
Partying like a rock star.
Partying like a rock star, exactly.
Yeah, and
So,
I often say to people like,
and I just want to add too. There's the two top tiers, and they're not that high priced. I mean, they're not cheap, but they're not high priced.
Right.
They're decently priced. You can get the gold level has a like a bag that you get that you can be eligible to win. So we're talking, there's going to be maybe 20 people involved in there.
Okay.
So you've got a pretty good chance of winning this bag of sticks and picks and all sorts of other things that have been used in the show by the artists that are performing.
That's very cool.
And like I said, there's going to be special guests there too. So it's probably worth every bit of money you spend doing it. Then the top tier, you're eligible to win a Tom Peterson signed bass.
Okay.
So great value for the money.
Yeah.
Yeah, and people will frequently say, well, you guys get to go and meet people, and it must be so exciting.
Being on the
and
red
whatever.
carpet.
Well, we're working, and that's a different thing. And if people want to do that, you can work, and it takes years, and then it's a lot of work when you're on the red carpet. If you just want to meet people, you can walk around Hollywood and hope that you're going to meet somebody, but the best time and place to meet somebody is at one of these VIP meet and greets, because that they already know that that's the expectation at a VIP. They've already said, I want to raise money for this thing, so they want to meet you. You're going to get pictures. You're going to get to actually substantively talk to somebody, and for the price, it's really worth it. If you want to meet somebody, do a VIP experience.
Yeah, and then there's also other stuff involved, like I think he'll do a video shout out on social media.
Oh, there you go.
For you.
No, it's worth it.
There's a lot of great stuff involved, and so go to the website rockyourspeechconcert.org. Go to the sponsor page. The VIP packages are on the sponsor page, and we want you there. So come.
Everybody's going to be talking about it for a long time afterwards. Matt knows how to do these things, as evidenced by how much we just talked about an event that happened how many months ago when we were talking about the poker tournament. Okay. Go ahead.
It is hard work.
It is hard work.
It is hard work, but I do it because I love it, and I guess in some weird way I need to do it.
Yeah.
So
I look at you, Matt.
Pay it forward.
You're like the poster child for self-actualization, really, if you think about it. No, because you had this world before. You were in the music world and in the entertainment world.
Correct.
And and kind of born into it with your dad being as famous as he is, and then you have a kiddo who's on the spectrum, and a brother. And a brother before that.
I have 3 kiddos on the spectrum.
3
now, yes.
And a brother and a nephew.
But being able to marry all your talents together to do something that furthers all of your agendas, that's kind of the poster child for self-actualization, Matt.
Well, it's funny because, and I've had this, like, people say, oh, the stuff you do now is so different from what you did before. And I said, no, it's really not. It's not that different.
No, it's not.
But it's got a higher purpose now.
That's what I feel too.
That, right?
I like working in television and now working for Actor Day. It's not that different.
Yeah.
But you're doing it because
producing events.
You want to do it
for a different way.
But you want to do it. So
you want to do it.
I guess you get up in the morning and you think, okay, I've got all this stuff I need to do, and I've got all these worries, but you know what?
Yeah.
I'm glad I'm doing it.
Yeah.
It's a privilege. It's a privilege.
Yeah.
And also, we have to say, you are very happily married. In
Well,
fact,
I
today,
want to talk about
Today's
that.
your
Yes,
really,
let's
because
talk about
today
that.
is my anniversary.
Yes. I can't
Um,
believe 3 years.
3 years.
I can't believe that.
No, it's incredible.
It seems like it's been.
And as I
a
posted
year.
yesterday on Facebook, I'm still the luckiest man in the world.
And that's
And
a
I am.
lovely thing. I had only just met you before you and Nava started dating.
That's right.
But I remember very distinctly the day that you came in and I said, "What's going on? Something's different. What's up with you?" And you were like, "Well, and I was like, "No, really, what's going on?"
I'm in love.
And that's what he said. We went to
That
break
is
and
what I
he
said.
he said, "I'm in love." And I
Yeah.
went, "Whoa."
How did you guys meet?
Well, actually, I met Nava doing my job. I'd known her brother for a long time. And then Eddie, who's our youngest, was diagnosed.
Right.
And so she was kind of, really concerned and worried and really needed a place to, like she was having her bad day
Yeah.
or a bad time and needed that kind of guidance and togetherness. And so her brother put her together with me.
Right.
And we talked for a long time, and I got her involved with the organization I was involved with at the time. And
As a support person,
as
as
a
somebody
support
to
person,
help.
yeah.
That's all
No,
it was.
And we became really good friends. She was, we both went through divorces at the same time.
Right.
And, I think one day we just kind of looked up and said, wait a second here. This is great. And there's a lot more to it than that.
Right,
but-
of
Sure.
course there is.
But I think what's great is that it started, very innocently in a sort of professional capacity, and
Yeah.
then went to friends, and then
The
went to
autism
the
connection once
Yes.
again
Oh, yeah.
brought you guys
Yeah.
together.
And I was, honestly, ever since I met her, I've been amazed by her. She's got this incredible energy, and she has the ability to talk to people and really reach them.
She's amazing.
And it's amazing.
She's wonderful, and the two of you together. It's
Of
been
course.
it's been really fun to watch the two of you together. We say things behind your back about, my goodness, if you spend too much time with them in a room, you could get diabetes because because it's just so sweet and it's fabulous, and everybody loves your story because you have this great. Everybody calls you the Brady Bunch of autism. You have this wonderful blended family, 6 kids, 3 on the spectrum.
And you're making it work.
We are making it work. There are a lot of great ingredients there that kind of miraculously lined up, that help us make it work. I think we get a lot of time together, which is great. And, we know the importance of trying to make sure that we have time for ourselves. And that's a huge part of, I think, what makes everything work so well.
But you guys have also been through the poo.
Oh, yeah.
Both before you got together and since you've been together.
Sure.
I mean, right when you guys were getting married, Nava's father passed,
Yeah.
which was devastating, and
Very
I'm sure
hard.
is still devastating.
Yeah.
You've had, you both had parents being ill.
Yeah.
You've had issues with having to move very suddenly
Oh no!
because of.
And there's a great short film out there on YouTube. If you look up Asner family, and it'll come up. It's actually really a great thing to look at to kind of show. We've had a lot of stuff that we've had to deal with.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
And-
don't want people to think that you guys had this
Yeah, this
idyllic.
rosy, yeah. Everybody.
Well, I mean-
it's had its challenges
Of
that
course.
you guys have had to deal
Yeah,
with.
and I just
like every
want
family.
I just wanted to bring that up because I think sometimes people they look at somebody, they go, "Oh, well, you must have it easy," and I just want
Because
them to
of-
know
I agree,
that's
Shannon.
not the case.
People look at people and say, "Well, that's
will say
for
that.
you, not for me."
Oh yeah,
I will say this. I think I'm incredibly lucky. Like I said, I think I'm incredibly lucky that I have someone to kind of get in the trenches with, like Nava, because she's a force. And
but she says the same thing about you.
Yeah.
And it and it's wonderful to see how how she adores you is a wonderful thing to see. Because I think, we all love you, and to see somebody care that deeply about you, we all go, oh, I'm so glad, right?
I'm glad too.
That's a happy for all of us.
Yeah.
And to see that love between the two of you and how much mutual respect you have for each other and how kind you are to each other. I always bring it up because I think there are a lot of people who are watching who are single parents with autism. That's you now.
That's me now.
And not by
Right.
choice,
No,
right?
not by choice.
Which stinks,
Yeah.
right?
It really sucks.
But I always want people to know that there is still love out there.
There's hope.
that
I think
there's
your
hope.
story gives people hope.
Yes,
There is hope.
absolutely.
There is. There is. I was.
You didn't think that was going to happen for you, did you?
I was sleeping on. I was actually sleeping on couches. I think when Nav and I really started kind of dating, and I was still sleeping on couches, and it was. I was in a. I think we were both in such a weird place,
Right?
And we just really kind of it just kind of happened.
Yeah.
So it's it's great.
It is great, which is not to say that you're not going to face other challenges
Right.
down the road, because
Right.
even
Oh,
finding
no.
each other, you face the challenges.
That's life. Life is
That
challenge.
is life.
It sure
yes.
is.
Life is challenge. Life is about challenge that smacks you in the head at 4 a.m. and
Yeah.
wakes you up out of bed, and and how you deal with that, together and even alone
Right.
is
Yeah.
that's a great secret of life.
Yes, how
know?
you define your life. It's how you deal with challenges.
Absolutely.
But it's lucky to find somebody that cares as much. I'm very lucky. I know my husband is watching this morning. He already said, I'm super lucky. You were lucky in having Reed.
I had
Yeah.
many years
Um,
of great luck and co-parenting.
And
life.
I firmly believe, and I'm putting this out there, that there is another great love coming to you.
Yes.
And Reed would give his blessings on that. I know that as one of his good friends, that he would be thrilled for that. So that's coming.
Okay.
We've ordered it up from the universe.
I agree. There's
That's
good
coming.
juju here.
And it's and sometimes you're with somebody that it isn't right, but when you've got the right person, to stay in the trenches and fight through as long
it's
as
hard
you
when
can.
you're in it and you think you're alone. It's very difficult.
And there are lots of people who are watching there that are out there that are alone, and it is not how they want it to be.
Right.
And I think it's great that all of us can attest to the fact that we've been in the trenches with somebody, and that's a thing worth fighting for. Always get the right person.
Having somebody to share those burdens and those
Yes.
challenges is amazing.
And if you know the gentleman that is going to be Nancy's next great love, let me know. I've
Okay,
always
Bubba.
wanted to be a Yenta.
Yeah, you're
Just
a Yenta.
send me pictures of gentlemen that you would like for me to fix up. with
Wait, I
Nancy,
think
and
you've
will-
set up an email address. It's
Okay.
love for Nancy at autism-live.com.
There we go.
Okay.
Right.
It's a new cause.
Right. And we want somebody who's fabulous and wonderful and that will enjoy Wyatt, and it wouldn't hurt. Isn't that what they say in Matchmaker? And please make him wealthy too.
Yeah,
Right?
is that what they say?
That wouldn't hurt. It wouldn't hurt if he was as wealthy as anything.
Not a
That's the line
prerequisite,
from
though.
Matchmaker.
Right.
Not a
Wouldn't hurt.
prerequisite.
Not a prerequisite, but it wouldn't hurt. I'm just saying. In any case, we should take a break, and then
Yes,
it's
we've
time
got
to
some
do
in the
in the
news,
news.
yeah.
So stick with us.
You're going to hang out with us, right?
Yes.
Okay, good.
Hello, fellow activists. In our last segment, we talked about step number 2, educate yourself. Step number 3 is get support. Now, any journey can feel overwhelming if you feel like you're walking it alone. Well, you're far from alone, because with 1 in 50 kids diagnosed with autism today, there are a lot of us out there. Of course, there's always the issue of financial support. Now, there's a handful of organizations out there that offer financial support to families in need. ACT Today, or Autism Care and Treatment Today, is one of them. Visit our website at www.act-today.org to find out more about our grant process. I want to talk about a different kind of support today, emotional support. Now, you can get that from other travelers on this path. Some of the best advice I've ever received is from the moms of other kids with autism who went to school with Wyatt or were involved with programs with him. Then there are the pioneers. These are the families that have gone through this years ago, and there was very little information out there. All of these people seem to have the desire to pay it forward. Now, one of them, Lisa Ackerman, who is one of my mentors, started an organization called TACA, Talk About Curing Autism. She actually took the concept of mentors and support groups and made it available to everybody. You can go to their website, talkaboutcuringautism.org, to find out more. During the first and most difficult year after Wyatt's diagnosis, I wrote an email to close family and friends, letting them know what was going on and the challenges our family was facing, and why we dropped out of sight. I was amazed at the outpouring of love and affection and all the help I received from that email. First, you have to be vulnerable. You can't be afraid to ask. Try this out. Could you cook me a meal? Are you going to the market? Can you pick me up a few things? Could your kids play with my kid and make them feel included? Or can you come over and clean my house? Well, maybe not that last one, except with your best friend. And maybe the best support of all is having someone that listens, and that doesn't cost a dime. So until next time, surround yourself with the loving kindness of others and keep the faith.
And we're back with Let's Talk Autism, and we're joined by our very close friend, Matt Asner is here with us, and he's sharing about this fabulous event that they've got coming up. And now we're going to be doing a little bit of In the News. And
Yeah,
you're
let's
gonna
plug the event one more time.
Yes,
We
one
can't
more
plug the
time.
event.
Rock Your
Enough.
Speech concert. It's on December 2nd at the Orpheum Theater. Full set by Cheap Trick. Red Cross, the Dandy Warhols, the Empty Hearts, which is kind of a pop supergroup of people from the 80s, like Elliot Eastman from the Cars,
Cool.
and Clem Burke from Blondie, and Romantics, and then Jeanette Napolitano from Concrete Blonde, Terry Nunn from Berlin, and Logan Shepard, and Cody Lee, and Will O'Neill, and it's going to be amazing, and you need to be there.
It's going to be an
Okay.
amazing night.
Fabulous.
It's gonna be-
December
Orpheum Theater,
2nd.
December
You can
2nd.
go and party
Get-
like a rock star.
Get your
Lots of VIP
Ticketmaster
packages.
tickets.
Yes,
Yes.
Ticketmaster
Tickets online.
VIP packages can be got at rockyourspeechconcert.org.
You want to feel special? That's the
Do
way
it.
to do it.
Let's do this.
yeah.
Do it. Okay, so
Right,
we had
so-
some in the news.
Yes, we
More
have
disturbing.
another. It seems like these stories come up every week. Don't
I
they?
am so sick and tired of hearing our kids being restrained at school in improper ways. So now we've got a 9-year-old boy in Indiana who was restrained with handcuffs.
Yes, and he claimed he was defending himself against bullying when he was arrested.
And so we're going to wait to hear more information about this.
Right.
But I also want to remind everybody that tomorrow on tomorrow's show, we're having Bonnie Yates, special education attorney. We had so many questions that came in last week specifically about bullying, that her whole time with us tomorrow is going to be about bullying, what our rights are as parents, what we can know. Because this is the kind of stuff that incenses me, that far likely we're going to hear that this boy has told someone before that he was being bullied,
Right.
and that everybody poo-pooed it. Right? Like, we don't know that for fact in this story, but we've seen it happen a million times. And then finally, our kid lashes out. And
Right.
because they're on the spectrum, nobody knows quite how to deal with it because nobody's trained properly.
Right.
So we end up with a 9-year-old in handcuffs.
They've
And-
confirmed that the police have confirmed that the boy is accused of battering a student and 2 teachers.
And there are witnesses that say that he was on the back of a teacher. But now, we all know, because we have kids on the
Right.
autism spectrum, that all behavior is communication.
Yeah.
So how do we get to, I'm a former classroom teacher, thank you very much. How do you get to the point where a student is on your back? A lot has to happen before that moment. And those are all
It escalates.
opportunities in which somebody, if you're properly trained. Now listen, teachers aren't properly trained.
We admit that.
And
but there are a lot of school districts that just don't have the training.
And they say we can't do it. We've started something here called Autism in the Classroom. We've got a big virtual conference that we're putting together for the spring, because we want to make sure that even if teachers can't afford it, if the schools can't afford it, we want to make sure that the training gets available to everyone, because these kinds of things don't have to happen.
No,
Yeah.
they don't. We're reading about them, it seems like every other
Way
week.
too often.
Well-
The teacher who put her kid zipped him into a gym bag
Right.
because she didn't know what to do with him.
Well, aren't we kind of entering into a period where that's probably going to happen more often?
Of course.
Well, that's
This is
why
a
we've
rise
started
in
Autism in the Classroom,
incidences.
thanks to Miss Betsy DeVos and all the
No,
things
exactly. I mean,
that she's redlining and rescinding and
Well, classrooms are already under-resourced,
Right.
and they're going to get even more under-resourced.
Yes.
And,
And the incidences of
Undertrained
autism
and-
are
Yes.
rising as the schools are getting under-resourced. So
Yeah.
that's not a good combination.
It only has the potential to get worse, but that's why I'm saying to people, every parent, there is training that you can make available to your teachers. We're going to make training available here that will be good training, and it's going to be free, but we'll also give resources to more extensive training, which unfortunately won't be free. Lots of different resources, but I want to make a library of videos so that a teacher who is up pacing at 2 o'clock in the morning, who's like, I've got this kid and I want to make a difference, can go online and find it right then, right that moment for free.
Good for you,
That's
Shannon.
important
That's
to
great.
me. But anyway, and I ask everybody to join with me in, what can you do? Talk to teachers, let them, I don't have it for you yet, but it's coming. In any
Okay,
case.
we have another story here about
more positive.
promise. A lot of promise seen in possible treatment for autism spectrum disorder. And it's about the human chromosome. Okay, this is kind of
gets
wordy here.
technical.
16p11.2 deletion syndrome. It's caused by the absence of about 27 genes on chromosome 16. And what they've done in a lab is that they found that a drug called R-baclofen reverses this.
And we're in mouse models
That's
at
not
this
a
point.
new drug either. That drug's been around for a while,
Really?
I think. Yeah.
But this is coming to us from a study from MIT and University of California at Davis. And I want to tell everybody you can go to news.mit.edu to read more about it. But it is also published in Neuropsychology Pharmacology. And this has potential, they believe, to treat autism and intellectual disability.
Yes.
Which is a very exciting thing.
Yeah, it
that
doesn't
fun?
say when this could possibly be available. Like
Still
you
in
said,
mouse
it's
model.
still in mouse model. I'm sure the next step will be working on some sort of clinical trial with kids,
Absolutely.
and then hopefully it will be made available to the public before.
Making clinical studies in the future possible.
Yes.
So there we go.
And all having to do with GABA. We talk a lot on the show about GABA, and I think they just keep inching closer and closer and closer. We're going to get to more answers. But not soon enough.
Not
right?
soon enough.
Not
Not
soon
while
enough.
they're still in
But
mouse
as
models.
long as I always say, I love to go to sleep at night knowing that greater minds are working on this.
Yes.
Right? Right.
Yes.
That it's in that kind of thing is in somebody else's hands. Okay. We've got 2 minutes, they're telling
Okay.
me, and I have to prep for tell them about. I have to plug tomorrow's show.
Tomorrow's
But
show.
what else do you guys? Halloween, good? Yes.
Halloween was good. Yeah, Wyatt was a chef. We went out in our
Yeah.
old neighborhood of Hidden Hills, and he knows he can't have, dairy and gluten, so he tells the people when he comes to the door, "Do you have anything gluten free?" And sometimes
awesome.
they don't, but
Awesome that he's asking. We gave her a picture because this costume was kicking my butt.
There's
wow.
Jem.
There is Jem.
I can't believe you made this fabulous.
Okay, so
costume
this
from
jacket,
scratch.
I made that hand dyed, fitted to him with red pleather that kicked my butt. I did not make the mask, but Dad made the flamethrower that is attached to his backpack that you can't see.
And how did he do?
I'm impressed with the mask. That's a great mask.
Yeah, but you can buy those masks at Goodwill.
Really?
There's somebody, and I believe that there's an autism connection to it. They make them, and they're at all the Goodwills in Los Angeles.
Really?
And they're relatively inexpensive. I think that was $12. But he uses puzzle pieces that he glues on them. Whoever makes them. So I firmly believe that there is an autism
Those masks
connection.
are available at Goodwill?
Yes.
Really?
That's
Yes,
the last
check out
place I
your
think
local
we think that's
Goodwill
where.
here in Los Angeles. And they have all different kinds of them that make, that one's a gas mask, but they have half ones, they have full ones. They're amazing, amazing work. And often they have puzzle pieces glued onto them. So I believe that there is an autism
But
connection.
so Jem had fun, and
He had fun, he had a very good time, and
Now, what do you guys do about the candy?
well, we've always had a thing where he would he goes gets because he never could have sugar or the colors or whatever. So he goes gets the candy, and when he was little, it was the Lego fairy. Well, the Lego fairy is going to come. You leave your candy in a bowl on the dining room table, and the Lego fairy takes it and leaves you a Lego.
Okay.
Obviously, and then my
That's a good
and then my
solution
niece
there.
did the Barbie fairy with her kids who aren't on the spectrum. Now it's just he knows that it goes away, and,
Right.
and he tells me what he
Right,
wants.
right.
We just trade it. That's what. Now, what about for you guys? 6 kids? Did anybody trick or treat?
You know what? We were kidless. We were kidless.
Didn't have the kids.
So we did not have the kids. So we
Is
were,
that hard to be kidless, or is that woohoo? Kind of both.
Depends on
how everybody's feeling.
There's an element of woo-woo,
Yes.
Yeah,
to
right.
not having kids. Yeah.
So it was date
but
night.
It was sort of date night. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you have trick-or-treaters come by your house?
You know, we didn't have any trick-or-treaters. We had
Yeah?
baseball.
Okay.
That's
We
what
didn't
we
have-
had. We
That's
watched
what- yeah.
baseball.
Yes,
That was pretty
yes,
exciting.
and the Dodgers won.
Dodgers.
Yes.
Yes.
Is that last game tonight?
Last game is tonight.
All right,
All right.
we're all gonna be
Well,
watching.
fingers crossed.